In my humble view, Mr. Varadarajan has strode over the engineering industrial landscape of Coimbatore like a colossus. Let me explain why I feel so. Let me give an idea on my background. Precol is an automotive ancillary established in 1974. We manufacture over a period of time a variety of products like instrument clusters, the sensors to give the feedback to the instrument clusters, oil pumps, water pumps, telematics, valves, etc. Therefore, we have customers all over India, be it a two-wheeler, a four-wheeler, a truck, or even a tractor manufacturer, or even construction equipment. And we also have a number of suppliers supplying to these various factories, which we have. Not only two in Coimbatore, but two in Maharashtra, two in Haryana, one in Uttarakhand, and one in Andhra. We have a lot of vendors all over India who supply to us. So as a corollary, in my younger days, I have traveled a lot to all these places to visit the customers as well as the suppliers. I have not found this unparalleled variety of engineering industries in the small and the medium scale anywhere in India. No one comes close to Coimbatore in this aspect. Earlier years, the engineering industries in Coimbatore consists of the pump and motor manufacturers and the foundries to supply components to them. In addition, we have industries like PSG Industrial Institute, Textool, L&W, LG Equipments, LGB, Shanti Gears, Sanfits of course, Everest, and Precol. Now, we have a variety of engineering industries in the small and medium sector, producing a variety of components and services and their own products too. Consequently, a number of overseas companies have established their operations here, and in addition, companies elsewhere in India also have established their operations here. How did this happen over the last 25 years? Is a question one has to ask and one has to ponder over. What was the spark that kindled this kind of change in Coimbatore? In my unequivocal view, here is Mr. Varadarajan, the cause for all this change. Let me begin at the beginning. Like a typical Coimbatorian who has finished his engineering and worked elsewhere for a few years, the entrepreneur bug bit Mr. Varadarajan too. Therefore, at the age of 27 in 1962, he started a foundry in the name of Sanfits. Even then, his thinking was different. He did not want to be a me-too supplier of castings to the pump and motor industries. His customers were different. It was the railways. Subsequently, a few years later, in 1975, he started Oriental Plants and Equipments to supply machined components and specialized equipment. I think his first customer was Viscose in Sirmavai. There was growth in both these industries, but it was pretty slow. He realized that to grow, one has to acquire different kinds of skills and get off the beaten track and develop new customers it applied not only to himself, but also to the peer industries, the small and medium sector industries in and around him and Coimbatore in general. So this involved exposure to new manufacturing processes, but a majority of these small and medium sector entrepreneurs in Coimbatore were hesitant even to go to Mumbai to the Imtex machine tool exhibition, let alone going abroad to educate themselves on the various new machines available. So Mr. Varadarajan hit upon the idea, if you can't take a horse to the water, bring the water to the horse. So he hit upon the idea, if our people are not going to go visit the exhibitions abroad and in Bombay, let us bring machine tool exhibitions to Coimbatore. He sold this idea to his co-members in Odisha and made them accept that this is a viable idea. He got in touch with PSG College of Technology and got permission from them to use their playground to set up temporary stalls and thereby conduct the machine tool exhibition. The first of it was conducted in 1988 and it proved a success. Therefore, every third year, in 91, in 94 and in 97, these exhibitions were conducted in PSG playground. This kind of exposure was a boon to the micro, small and medium industries of Coimbatore and the entrepreneurs who ran them. They were able to understand what are the new machines available, what are the new processes available, what is the benefits of investing in these kind of machines, and they were induced to do so. And this led to the accelerated growth of engineering industry in Coimbatore. Seeing the success of the exhibitions and also how to attract bigger machine tool manufacturers to Coimbatore, he felt there is a necessity to have a permanent exhibition ground. We cannot keep on running on temporary stalls and PSG playground. This is the idea behind establishing the Odisha complex for conducting exhibitions. This idea of his was not only for the engineering industries, but also other industries like consumer goods, textiles, and agriculture. If all of these could utilize the fairgrounds, definitely the exposure to the young people of Coimbatore would be high, and a number of young entrepreneurs would emerge, and the Coimbatore region would prosper. The idea of creating the Odisha complex took place, was able to convince his co-members. Mr. Varadarajan and his team went around meeting various business people in Coimbatore to sell the idea and to request loans from them. Therefore, they could buy land and they could construct the complex. I'm given to understand the foundation stone was laid in 1997, and in 2 years, phase 1, consisting of 3 halls, was completed, and the Intake 2000 was conducted in this new complex to grand success in early 2000. And consequently, every third year, such exhibitions have been conducted. Let me point out that this was the first private fairground in the whole of India. Like earlier, I don't know whether Mr. Subramaniam said that or Mr. Balasubramaniam said that it had world-class facilities where even the Germans were astounded. Today, the expanded complex is bigger than what is even available in Chennai. It is really commendable, the kind of vision Mr. Varadarajan had. I am very happy that the Odisha Fair Complex is used on a regular basis, year after year, and all the loans that Mr. Varadarajan and the team had taken from the industries and the banks, I understand, has been paid back. These exhibitions and the exposures that they provided was the impetus for a number of new entrepreneurs to come up in Coimbatore, and their services paved the way, as was earlier said, for overseas industries to come and set up their operations here, and industries elsewhere in India also to set up their industries here, leading to the growth and prosperity of the Coimbatore region. The human side of Mr. Varadarajan is also to be emulated and appreciated. Most of us here are aware that Mr. Varadarajan came from very humble beginnings. Soon after finishing school, he could not continue his education in college because his parents could not afford it. And therefore, he sought a job at PHG to earn a living. The late Mr. G.R.D. Damodaran saw something in him, a spark in him, and encouraged him to study engineering, and also organized some of the means whereby the expenses of Mr. Varadarajan could be met. Mr. Varadarajan is eternally grateful to Mr. G.R. Damodaran. At many a forum, he has expressed his gratitude to Mr. G.R. Damodaran. Not many would have done this. The minute they became big, they would have forgotten their past. I came to know Mr. Varadarajan in the mid-90s, 1990s, when he was going around meeting various people to ask for loans from the businesses. So Mr. Varadarajan came over to pre-call, explained what his vision about Odisha complex, etc. was, and wanted to know whether pre-call could extend a loan of 25 lakhs. I was floored by his vision, and more importantly, his gumption and bold thinking. Rather than give a loan, pre-call gave a donation of 25 lakhs. Mr. Varadarajan, the hand claps is not for me, it's for you. Mr. Varadarajan did not forget this, and at a couple of forums at least, he showed his gratitude to pre-call for giving the donation. Maybe he wanted to egg others to do the same thing, I don't know. Therefore, I beg of all of you, and especially the youngsters over here, this sense of gratitude has to be emulated. And in addition, the aspect of his vision and his bold thinking. I'm glad he has inculcated these habits in his sons and nephews. By the way, there is no partiality he shows between his sons and nephews. He treats all 5 as his sons. Over time, he has handed over the reins to the 5 of them. They have become successful business people thanks to the learnings from Mr. Varadarajan. They now manufacture quality castings for domestic and export markets, agriculture implements, concrete mixers, construction equipment and power with JCB, crushers and screening for rubble for construction as well as for end sand. All different, not a Me Too industry. All these have a combined turnover of 1,900 crores now. Mr. Varadarajan's own prosperity took a backseat because of the zeal and endeavor to improve the prosperity of those around him. I understand from Parthiban's son, even now, is more concerned with how many people are working in the various industries rather than the profit they generate. For him, job creation is more important than profits. That's the kind of social commitment Mr. Varadarajan has. Had he fully concentrated on his own businesses and helped his friends to grow the business, I'm sure this 1,900 crores would have been much, much higher. That is the sacrifice he made for the public cause. As was said earlier, even in his 80s, he continues to keep on thinking for the welfare of this region. He has been instrumental in getting permission, getting the land, organizing the land for 2 large industrial parks to come up in Coimbatore. At 87, even today, he is actively involved in the establishment of PSG GRD Museum of Science and Technology. Today is the 3rd day of Intech 2022, the 5-day exhibition at the Kodicha complex for machine tools, tooling and automation. It is very fitting, Mr. Balasubramaniam and Mr. Rajan, that the Chamber is giving the Creator of Prosperity Award to Mr. Varadarajan. Mr. Varadarajan, who is a visionary, a great communicator to make believers in the vision, and a great leader to take them along. He is truly a creator of prosperity. And Mr. Varadarajan, it is an honor for me to be associated with you. And I stand here as a proud Coimbatorian in the engineering industrial landscape he has fostered. I thank the Chamber for giving me this opportunity.